so just be a little bit careful. I'm going to run up the other side. Just kidding, just kidding. I thought this rail moved too. This rail doesn't move. Just kidding, turn around and go up this side. I thought that really moved too, but I guess it doesn't.
Anchored.
Yeah, that's part of the scenery for this show. So I haven't actually gone up that way. This side of the ground opens. All right. So up here is our set. So where you're standing right now is right where the actors are singing and dancing just this afternoon, and they'll be back tomorrow. Pretty cool, huh? Want to peek through the doors? There you go. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like there's going to be more rooms and stuff back there, but it's really just pretend. Also, these pieces right here have a little, it's like a little bedroom. There's one on each side. Now, right now, when we were up there, we couldn't see these really. They were almost invisible. But they're on some wheels. It's really heavy, so I can't move it. But it takes a couple guys to move it. But then it moves out so that you can see some parts that are just sort of hidden other times when they slide on stage and they slide back off stage. Yeah? Excellent. Well, let's walk this way. I'll show you some more cool stuff. So one way that we move stuff, obviously, is just putting stuff on wheels. Those are called wagons. Just like if you had a wagon like when you were a little kid and you pulled stuff around in like a little red wagon. It's the same idea, only they're big wagons. So that's what those things are called. And then, if we slide through these curtains here, you can see another way that we move stuff. Now in this show, most all of the scenery just stays right where it is. There isn't a lot of things that go up and down and up and down, but in some shows there's a bunch of scenery that moves up and down. And these are how we do that kind of thing. So this is called the fly rail. And if you look right here, I'm going to move the one thing that moves in this show. Oh, you see those things coming down? You see those? So those are just some decoration for one or two scenes, but they move on this thing. And they're balanced with these big pieces of metal over here. You see those? That's called a counterbalance. All right, so pop it up. Put the anchor on it so it doesn't slide all over the place. Should we keep going backstage? So this area here is what they would call a crossover. Sometimes when you come off stage on one side, and the next time you come on, you need to go on the other side. So you walk this way.
I wondered how that always happened.
Yep, there's, and all different theaters at different places. Sometimes you have to go under, sometimes you have to go over, sometimes you can go right behind the scenery. We also sometimes, when we do shows here, the scenery goes all the way to the wall. So then we take this route, which in this show is mainly where we have props and people change their costumes really quickly. So these are all different props and little bits of this and that for this. Yeah, fog machine, absolutely. Some fun confetti. There's much confetti in this show.
Yeah, I saw.
Did you?
You see, everything's labeled so it gets put back where it's supposed to go.
This is called the prop table back here. So that's just pretend money because there's some character who has to get paid for something. So just like your teacher or your leader was saying, everything's labeled. So that way, if you know that your character has to carry, for example, a deck of cards, then you don't have to be looking all over like a ninny for your deck of cards because you go right where it's supposed to go. That also helps the person who's called the stage manager, the person who's sort of in charge of all the stuff backstage, helps her know that everything is where it's supposed to be. Because otherwise you may come off stage and say, oh my goodness, where's my red fan? If these fans aren't there, then before the show ever starts, then she can say, we gotta find those red fans. Does that make sense? So that keeps everything kind of organized back here. And there's some bigger props that obviously couldn't fit on the table, so they just hide over there. So let's head on downstairs and we'll see the dressing rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah. Try running up and down these in tap shoes. That's a fun one. Well, that's an interesting chair. That's out of a car.
Those are steep stairs. I forgot to warn you. Sorry. They are pretty steep stairs. People fall down them sometimes, so I had to take people down them, not up them. So this is our little laundry area, right? Because there's people singing and dancing all the time, so they get kind of sweaty. Our costumes would be really stinky if we didn't wash them pretty often. This is one of the areas that we get dressed, but this is where, like, just some of our actors who do a lot of different costume changes but don't spend very much time back here, they change here. And then there's maybe three other dressing areas. So I'll show you where they are because there's lots of people in this play.
Is the
So people
gown
get
used?
dressed everywhere.
Are these used in this show? All these?
I think these are.
used.
There may be one. I'm not sure if that gown is in this, but I think it is. I think everything up there is in this show. Once in a while, there's some random thing that's left from an old show, but I think these are all in this one. So if you come in here, ladies, this is where the boys get ready. Some of the boys.
Oh,
You can see they
all the
have a lot of different
sailors.
costumes, too. All the different sailors. All their costumes look about the same. That's where they can, get ready and put on their makeup and their microphones and all that sort of stuff. The girls' dressing room I think is more fun because they have way more better clothes.
Oh,
So we'll come and look at them.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my god.
pretty plain stuff. But the girls have lots of fun.
wigs.
Ooh, my mom has a singing box.
Yeah, excellent. Good kind of water bottle to have.
It's pretty small.
All their shoes and their dresses and their wigs.
they have a lot more accessories than the boys do, don't they?
Yep.
Well, my gown's not over here. I donated my gown, all of that.
Well, these ones are just the ones that are in this show, so
Yeah.
they may not have made it. Birds are actually a pretty common thing that people donate.